everyone. While Coach gets settled, he will make an opening statement, and we'll take questions. We'll try and get as many questions as we can. Please leave your hands up, and I'll call on the question as we come. So, Coach, whenever you're ready.
Yeah, you bet. Just a great team win for our guys. Credit to Georgia. They're a great team, and just proud of the way our guys came out and fought. You can't overstate like what our guys have just been doing as far as just every day trying to get better, and that's what it's about. They just were focused and knew they're gonna have to play 4 quarters, and it took every second of it. And so again, finding a way to win first half, a lot of conversions, especially on 3rd down, got off the field, and then turned into a fist fight in the second half. And defense standing in there, getting a big 4th down stop. That was big, but it's another step in the right direction for our team. I know that they're already talking. They're not done with their improvement. They've really been focusing on that. They've been focusing on us. That's, I think, the key is not getting caught up in anything else other than what we can control. And I'm super proud of them for that.
Thanks, Coach. Start far left with Alex.
Team struggles on the road well noted. What do you think you guys learned in this game to hold on?
Yeah, it's a mindset going in that you're, especially against a team like this. You're gonna get punches thrown at you. You're gonna get some, and we got some tonight. And it's just, what's your response gonna be? And our response was to punch back and punch back harder. And I really felt like, even when it isn't perfect execution, just felt like there was an attitude and energy that our guys had, and there's going to be no regrets when we walk off the football field because we gave it everything we had.
Let's go to Charlie, then Nick, front row.
Coach, can you kind of walk us through that screen pass and take both the kind of implementation and the execution?
That went in during fall camp. It was going really well, and then we had one that didn't go well, and so it got shelved for a little bit, but brought it back out, and he made a catch earlier in the week that gave us a lot of confidence. Middle of practice, sweaty hands, not a great throw, pulled it right off the ground. So pretty impressive seeing a big guy like that do what he did, and he's been pretty consistent on it, and so he's done his part, and our guys are excited for him. And it's who wants to tackle that guy, right? Who wants to tackle him? And he's such a great athlete, and he's worked hard to continue to even improve that in other ways.
Nick?
Yeah, the final play call on 3rd down inside the passing. So walk me through kind of that discussion of how that played out, why you guys made that decision.
We want to play to win, and didn't want to give them a chance. So, they have over a minute probably to go, or right at a minute maybe with the punt. And so, that gets hard, especially on the road. And, it's a pretty conservative play because you need 5 yards, and what are you going to do if you get 3? What are you going to do if you get 4? And so if we got out the back door clean with Jam, it was going to be a good play. And then you still got it in your quarterback's hands, and he can make a decision where you're at on the field. If you have to take a sack, you take a sack, keep the clock running, and then you go from there. But proud of the execution of the guys. We've had that one in for a long time, even last year, and so just executing at the right time. I thought it was a great play call, great execution.
Question on the right side with Chase. Go ahead, Chase.
Yeah, Coach, pre-snap time when the place got noisy, was walking the tackles, walking the tight ends, and putting the call right in the ear hole instead of just yelling from the position.
That's right.
Was that pre-planned, and is that kind of an indicator of his poise?
Yeah, it takes a lot of work when you get in an environment like we had today. They can't hear them, and you got to make sure every word is heard, and the effort that he put forth today, the energy he just showed in the locker room, he's given everything he has. But yeah, we knew we were more than likely going to have to get right up there in their ear, tell them exactly what's going on with those protection checks, make sure everyone's on the same page. One guy blows an assignment or doesn't hear something correctly, now you got a guy in your lap when you're the quarterback.
Let's go to EG in the middle.
What's the identity of this team coming off the win?
I think it's just I think there's a toughness that's being built. I don't think we're there yet. I think there's things that we can do better, but we talked about mental, physical, and emotional toughness that it was going to take. That was one of the first things we put on the keys to victory at the beginning of the week. We knew it was going to be when it came to turnovers and takeaways, that was going to be critical. And then executing in critical situations, and we did that. And those three things right there, we've taken care of the football. We executed in critical times, got the fourth down stop, executed on third down, got off the field, especially in the first half. We were good in the red zone offensively, 4 for 4, I think 3 touchdowns. And so, all those things, but there's a toughness that our guys are building on, and we still got a long ways to go, and they know that.
Colin, far right.
You mentioned that fourth down stop, but a team that struggles to stop the run, and then LT Overton, Deontay Lawson makes that stop. I mean, how big of a stand was that moment, and did it kind of turn, I guess, things in your favor a little bit, you think? Or how big was that?
Yeah, no question. They do a great job in the run game. You knew that they were going to try to really, hold the line of scrimmage, both defensively and then control it offensively. And so they did a nice job. But you play every play as its own play. You play every game as its own game. There's nothing that carries over. There's nothing that carries over into that situation. So just do your job, be fundamental, play with great energy, and make things happen. We didn't sit back on our heels and just hope that, they didn't execute. We went out there and attacked it and made a play.
Far left, Katie.
You've talked after Florida State about tidying in to improve decision making. Just what did you see from that him tonight, especially on third down?
Yeah, I think he's continued to do a really good job of keeping his eyes downfield, trusting his offensive line more and more in pass protection. And then, the guys are getting in the right spots at the right time. The repetitions that are happening in practice, just even the completion percentage and the execution in practice, you can see it continue to build. And so, he's ripping it, cutting it loose, and I'm proud of him because he's playing with some energy and some emotion. He gives some talks to the team that are pretty passionate, and he's all in, that's for sure.
Let's go to Jim on the right side.
There's nothing glamorous about a first down and 2-yard run or 3-yard run, but how important was it tonight?
Yeah. At the end,
Oh,
all night long. Yeah, and we got to continue to get better in the run game. There's times when we had looks that we just should really take advantage of, and there's an execution piece to it. There's a toss play, and it's not always the offensive line. There's a toss play to the right that I just felt like numbers-wise, I think Germ had the ball in his hands, and we just got to get everyone on the same page doing your job. But, there's some times inside too where, there are 2 high safeties, and we should be able to get more than what we had, not just 3 or 4. We should be able to get 7 or 8. And especially as the game goes along. Now, in the last drive, that happened a little bit more, and so that's why you just stick with it. I think I saw 38 attempts or something like that as far as rushing attempts. That's a credit to Ryan Grubb, just continue to stay within, not getting greedy, not, just feeling it has to turn into an all-out, passing game. So just proud of the continued fight that he had and what he brings out of the offensive line.
So John on the left side.
This is your third time since being out there, and then coming off a bye, you guys have really good defense games, especially to start. Maybe it's really simplistic, but what does that extra week mean for you when game script, play calling?
Yeah, I think first of all, we got some guys back that help. I think TK in the middle, we really needed him. I thought he played. I don't know if he's played great. I haven't really seen it that close, but he helped. He made a difference. Jam obviously makes a big difference, not just in the run game, but in the protection piece, just confidence in him. So you got your guys, and they're healthier. And then you got a staff that does a great job putting a game plan together. And then you get more reps at it. And so, when you can make those plays look and the checks be on point through a few more days of practice, a few more reps, that's what you get because we got good football players out there.
All right, we got 2 more questions. Let's start with Steve and we'll finish with Chris.
Coach, if you could walk me through your fourth down play. I saw you on the sideline saying go. And was that in particular just a feel? Did the book tell you to go for it at that point?
Yeah, we were a yard, and I'd like to think we can get that yard, and just, there's times last year where I wish I'd have gone for it a time or two, just play aggressive, play to win, what we did there at the end of the game, and you got to be smart, You know, you can't be reckless, but just, you know, they squeezed the edge pretty good and caught us from behind. And so, you know, thought we had good numbers to the front side with Ty keeping it, a lead blocker there. Didn't physically get the job done.
All right, let's finish with Chris on the right here.
Kalen, what stands out most about your football team from where you were coming out of the FSU game to where you guys are right now?
It started that they pretty much just got an edge to them, you know, took everything that was out there and channeled the energy into us, you know, being better and getting better. And, you know, there's two things you can do when things are coming down on you a little bit. You can go back yourself in a corner, or you can fight. And these guys, you know, have made up their minds they're going to fight. And, you know, the staff is doing the same thing. And so I think just that was where it started, but I think it's just continued now to continue to build. And we got to make sure we don't forget, you know, what that chip on the shoulder was that kind of got this momentum going. And got to understand what it took mentally, physically, emotionally today to be able to sustain from start to finish, you know, and not just 30 minutes, you know, it's 60 minutes. And so, you know, that's been a word that we talked about going back to January. I've talked to you guys about it, sustaining it. Can we sustain the energy? Can we sustain the passion? And, you know, not just, you know, for the season, not for the game, but each play, you know, and we sustained it. And at the very end, churning out those first downs with the offensive line, that's something we weren't doing in fall camp. That's not something we were doing at the beginning of the season, at the end of the game. Maybe we did at the beginning of the game, the first drive, you know, Florida State, okay, worked at it, got it done, but we weren't doing that, you know, in the second half like we did tonight.
Thank you, Coach.
You bet, thank you.
Players will be coming in here, y'all.
Yeah, thank you.